I start to get anxious. That's when my thoughts can be dangerous. That's when I put on my makeup and drown in self-hatred. Forget what I'm saying.
Hey yo, what's going on guys? Today I got you with an Ashika Island loadout video. I'm going to give you full loadouts, exactly what I use and what I think is meta. And I hope you guys use it and enjoy it to instantly get better at the game. Let's dive into it. The first class we're going to be looking at is one of the sweatiest classes I think you could be using right now in Season 2 Reloaded. The Sakin and the MP5. First we're going to go take a look at the Sakin. Here we got a very basic build. We got the M13 optic, the FSS OLEV laser, the Silver Series barrel, the Talon 5 muzzle, and the Bruin Warrior LMG underbarrel. Starting with the underbarrel, the tunings, we max out aiming idle stability and recoil stabilization, and we can do the same for the Talon except a 0.65 tuning for the bullet velocity. Then we'll take a look at the barrel. I want you to max out recoil steadiness and leave the damage range and ADS tunings exactly where it was at 0. Then we go take a look at the laser. I want you guys to max out that ADS speed and max out that sprint to fire speed for Rebirth Island to make sure you can react properly. And the M13, like most scopes, put it farther away and increase that ADS speed to max. Now we're going to go quickly take a look at the MP5. I still think this is the best SMG in the game. You gotta put that 50 round drum mag on, the recoil 56 stock, the solar flare laser, the DX90F muzzle, and the Bruin Warrior grip. Starting with the factory stock tunings, you want to max aiming idle stability and ADS speed. Solar flare does not have any tuning, so you don't need to worry about that. The Forge DX90F, you want to leave recoil smoothness and ADS speed as the basic tunes and max out your bullet velocity. And finally, get that Bruin Warrior grip with 0.62 positive hit recoil control and 0.32 hit fire accuracy. Now moving on to the next class, I can't lie, I have a riot shield and do Kodachi's class. This class I just didn't know what to put there. It's kind of there. I guess if you want to be toxic, you could copy that as well. But some people aren't going to like you for that, and I don't recommend it. Going on swiftly to the next class, we got the ISO and the Vaznev. The ISO is still one of my favorite guns in the game, I cannot lie. I need to make a gameplay on it soon. It's a pretty standard build, a 45 round mag, F-Tac Ripper, underbarrel, Echoless 80 muzzle, the Fielder, barrel, and the M13. Starting with the M13, you can see we got maxed out the fire and maxed out flinch resistance. Then we go quickly over to the barrel. We got maxed out recoil steadiness and damage range. Now we can take a look at the muzzle. We got maxed out recoil smoothness and bullet velocity as well. And the F-Tac Ripper maxed out recoil stabilization and aiming idle stability. Normally, you don't want to max out all your tunings. You don't need to copy these tunings exactly, but for this gun, I think you should max out all these tunings that are there. Now we go over to the Vaznev. I believe this is based off your normal CDL build with the 45 round mag, the Marquee R7 stock, FSS OLEV laser, the Kaz 381mm barrel, and the Lakrita compensator muzzle. Starting with that muzzle, we got max gun kick control, maxed recoil stabilization. Then we go over to the barrel, we got maxed out damage and recoil steadiness as well. We go over to the laser and negative 39.48 towards ADS speed and max out that sprint to fire speed. Then we go over to the stock and max it to aim locking speed and ADS speed. Now we go over here and we can see my most toxic class. I know you don't want to see this, but it's still there. The fire shotgun, still OP as ever. The 25 shell drum magazine, fire breath, dashbolt 60, the point G3P04 laser, and the gunner barrel. Starting with the barrel, we got max damage range and recoil steadiness. We got the laser tuned for sprint to fire speed. Everything else stays the same. The bolt is untuned. The drum is untuned. Dragon's breath. For in this case, we have bullet velocity maxed out and the damage range maxed out. Going on to snipers, not a lot of people snipe on Ashika Island, but I still like to every once in a while, and this is the sniper to do it. It is one of the first one-shot headshot guns originally. Now it's no longer one-shot headshot, but I still use it. I still think it's very good. And if the person's taking damage already, you still get that knocking down. Starting with Incendiary and the 22-inch barrel, the OLEV laser, the 13 times viscous scope, and the Merc stock. Incendiary, you want that tuned to damage range maxed out and bullet velocity as well, fully maxed out. Take a look at the barrel, we want the most damage possible and leave recoil steadiness and aim walking speed kind of unnecessary in this case. We go over to the laser, we want maxed out aiming idle stability and aim walking steadiness. And we look at the scope, you want it to be far and max out ADS speed to help improve your reaction time. Then we go over to the stock, we see we got maxed out aiming idle stability and aim walking steadiness. Moving on, we got the M13 and the 74U. The M13, again, another standard build with the AIM-OP V4, the 14-inch barrel, the Cronin OP 44 muzzle, the underbarrel as the F-Tac Ripper, and a 60 round mag. Most people will go for 45 round mag, and you can if you want to, but I personally like to have a little bit more bullets to use, and so I have my 60 round mag on. The F-Tac Ripper, you want that tuned around plus 18 for aiming idle stability and negative 28 towards ADS speed. Now we go over to the muzzle. This gun does have quite a bit of vertical recoil. You're going to need to pull down a little bit on it while shooting, but you need negative 0.45 ADS speed and positive 27 gun kick control, because you will need that as well. It does have a little bit of bounce to it, but moving swiftly, we got the 0.32 positive towards damage range and 0.35 towards the recoil steadiness. And the AIM-OP V4, your standard, maxed out far, maxed out ADS speed. Now moving over to the AK-74U. This was honestly based off Cup of Joe 5's video about it. I recommend you go take a look at his channel, but he is right. The cast off is amazing, and it's in a good place right now. It has a 45 round mag, the Demo X2 grip, the Ultra Z stock, the Agent grip, and the RF Crown 50. The only thing with this class is to also remember that it's paired up with the M13, and if you pair these up again, you are going to need to collect a lot of AR ammo. Starting with the Agent grip, we got maxed out recoil stabilization as well as aiming idle stability. Then go to the RF Crown, we got max ADS speed and max gun kick control. It is important that the muzzle has max gun kick control, otherwise your aim will be off and it's going to be bouncing all over the place. Now we go over to the Demo grip, and we max out that sprint to 5 speed and ADS speed as well. And lastly here we got the stock, max for ADS speed and negative 1.55 towards aim walking speed. Now we got this class, the AUGs. Personally, these guns are kind of underrated. The MX9 and the STBB, both very good, especially with the slight buffs they got. And it's kind of slept upon, so I think you guys will dominate using these weapons. First we got the 9mm ammunition, the F-Tac C11 comb, the AccuShot laser, the 16.5 Bruin barrel, and the Bruin pendulum. Starting with the ammunition, max bullet velocity and damage range. Going on to the Bruin pendulum, we got negative 44 aim downside speed and plus 0.16 gun kick control. Then we go over to the Bruin barrel, and we got plus 0.23 recoil steadiness and plus 0.14 damage range. The laser is untuned, and we go over to the comb, and we can see we maxed out ADS speed and plus 0.14 towards the recoil stabilization. It's already pretty accurate, you don't need too much to change. Now STBB, it's very good on Ashika Island. It's not too good for super long ranges, but it can still get the job done if your aim is very good. We got the 42 round mag, we got the F-Tac Ripper, F-Tac Castle Comp muzzle, the 24.4 Bruin barrel, and the AIM-OP V4. Going over to the F-Tac Ripper, we got max aiming idle stability and recoil stabilization. We go over to the muzzle, and we got max gun kick control and recoil stabilization as well. The AIM-OP V4, it's set to far max, and ADS and flinch resistance is left at 0. Then lastly we got the barrel, recoil steadiness max, and damage range max. Okay guys, just a few more guns. Here we got the Honey Badger and the Growl. The Honey Badger aka the Chimera. Very good right now. It always was kind of good, but I never really used it. But now it's very dominant if you use it. We got the 45 round mag on, the VX Pineapple underbarrel, second tread 40 muzzle, the Phoenix barrel, and the VLK laser. Starting with the Pineapple, we got max hit recoil control, and you can leave hip fire accuracy and ADS speed at 0. Now we go over to the muzzle. We can see we want a little bit of good gun control and recoil stabilization. So we got plus 0.7 for gun kick and plus 0.62 for recoil control. Now we go over to the barrel. We got to max out that recoil steadiness and damage range to help get that time to kill up. And we want to max the ADS speed, sprint to fire speed. Now it goes very well paired up with the Growl or the Lachman 5.56. This build is very good on Ashika Island as well as Al Mazrah. We got that 60 round mag, the F-Tac Ripper, Harbinger D20, the 15.9 lock wrap barrel, and the AMOT V4. Starting with underbarrel, we got the aiming, auto stability, and recoil stabilization max. We go to the Harbinger, both settings maxed as well. Then we go to the barrel. We got maxed out damage range and maxed out recoil steadiness. And for the AMOT V4, we got it set to far, and we leave the settings pretty much the same, plus 0.10 towards flinch resistance. Now, for our last overkill class of the day. So now we got our newest marksman rifle, the Tempus. It is very good on Ashika Island. It can 2-shot to the head, chest area if you hit your shots. We got a 50 round drum, which is kind of excessive you would think, but it needs a lot of ammo and it needs sniper ammo, so it's better to have the bigger drum on there. Then we got overpressured ammunition, the F-Tac Ripper, Polar Fire S muzzle, and the AMOT V4. For overpressured, we tune towards recoil steadiness, negative 5.52. And we also tune for recoil smoothness, negative 0.45. Now going on to the underbarrel, F-Tac Ripper, maxed out aiming idle stability, as well as recoil stabilization. On the Polar Fire S, we'd also like to max out that bullet velocity and recoil smoothness. And the standard AMOT V4, maxed out for far and aim down speed. And partnered up with it, we get the MP7 or the Vel with a pretty interesting build. It's actually really good since the update. It does very well. It fires a lot of bullets, so you will need a lot of ammo stocked up for it, but other than that, you'd be okay. Starting with the attachments, we got the Brian Cubic Comp muzzle, we got the Phase 3 grip underbarrel, we got the VLK laser, the Demo RXT stock, and the soldier grip. Starting with the Phase 3 underbarrel, we got tuning towards aiming idle stability, 0.28 positive, as well as plus 0.54 towards recoil stabilization. Moving on to the muzzle, we got maxed out recoil stabilization as well as gun kick control. It's going to need that. It has quite a bit of vertical recoil. You're going to have to watch out for that. The soldier grip, you're going to want it tuned towards sprint fire speed, negative 0.22, and towards ADS speed, negative 0.71. Now going on to the stock, we want to tune towards aiming idle stability, positive 1.63, and towards ADS speed, negative 2.19. Finally, we got the laser tuned towards ADS speed, negative 31.26, and tuned towards sprint fire, negative 0.32. Now from here we have a bit of a secondary class situation. We got the RPK and the Deagle. Starting with RPK, it's still very good. It's been debuffed over and over again, and it really has not changed. It's the same build as before. We got the AMOT V4, the Demo X2 grip, high velocity ammunition, F-Tac Ripper 56 underbarrel, and the Sakin tread 40. Starting with the Demo X2 grip, maxed aiming idle stability as well as recoil steadiness. For high velocity, we want max bullet velocity as well as damage. For For the F-Tac Ripper 56, we want max aiming angle stability as well as recoil stabilization. For the Sakin Tread, we want maxed recoil stabilization as well as gun kick control. And for the AMOT V4, we have maxed out fire and ADS speed. Now, interestingly enough, paired up with this gun is a weapon that used to be crazy on the original Riot Island, the Deagles, or the .50 GS in this case. It's still very good. It's hip fire akimbo, trying to get us back thrown out to the old days, and I really enjoyed using it. I think you guys might if you enjoyed it back then. So if you'd like, you can give this build a try. We got the 13 round mag, akimbo, 1 milliwatt pistol lasers, the long shot barrel, and the EXF50 GS muzzle. There's no tuning necessary for the magazine as well as akimbo. Starting with the laser, we max hip spread and sliding hip fire accuracy, and we have the long shot barrel tuned for max damage range as well as recoil steadiness. And then the muzzle, we have max bullet velocity and recoil control. The only thing with this build is you're gonna have to be careful. It doesn't have a lot of range, and you also need to have pretty good aim, because if you don't, it will miss some shots. Now finally, we have a bit more of another toxic loadout, starting with the crossbow. This is the explosive crossbow that was also used quite a lot back in Rebirth 1, but we still got a new build here, starting with the 28 strand cable, the blast cap 20 bolts, the Slim Line Pro optic, the VLK laser, and the Momenti arms. Starting with the cable tunings, we have max hit recoil control as well as bolt velocity. Going into the blast cap bolts, we have plus 0.12 towards hit recoil control as well as maxed bolt accuracy. Then we go over to the arms, and we got max bolt accuracy as well as bolt velocity. Taking a look at the laser, we have max ADS as well as sprint fire speed. And then for the scope, we have far and max ADS speed, both maxed out. And then our final gun, another pistol, pretty much the Cyclops or the X13s, pretty standard build, 50 round drum, akimbo, 1 milliwatt pistol laser, the XRK Luke 9 barrel, and the steel fire muzzle. Starting with the muzzle, we have max recoil smoothness and bullet velocity. For the barrel, we got maxed recoil steadiness and damage range. And finally, we have the laser with max hip spread and sliding hip fire accuracy. The only thing with these guns, you also got to be careful. They are very bad at range, like very bad. You have to be active and aggressive to use this build. Perk class, if you wanted to know them and you stuck around this long, we have my normal class that I use. For overkill, we use overkill, tracker, resupply, and high alert. These are used for pretty much all of my overkill classes, and that's why I named it overkill. The tacticals and lethals are really up to use. Sometimes I use smokes, I use stims sometimes on Rebirth Island, and flashes you can also use, very toxic. Now for secondary classes, if you have like me, I have a few different ones, starting with this secondary class. It's a very overpowered class if you decide to use it. It has battle hardened, bomb squad, resupply, and high alert. Makes you very overpowered, very strong to grenades and things like that, allowing you to be a little more aggressive. And finally, the basic sweat loadout perks that most sweats use anyway. They use scavenger for the ammo and those plates that you struggle to find on Rebirth. Double time just to help you get away, fast hands to switch, help your reaction time, and high alert to help you just figure your way around the map and know when you're getting looked at, help you pick up a little more kills. Other than that, thank you for watching. It's been pretty long video, I know, a little out of normal. Hope you stick around this long and enjoyed it. Drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and comment which loadout you want to see in a video, and comment which loadouts you use. Other than that, that's it for today. Peace.